Things I trusted. God allowed the Spirit to move naturally and were unhindered. The
I've
Spirit
always been
searches all
concerned
things, even the
about
deep
how to
things of
treat
God.
someone.
For who
I
among men
take
knows the thoughts of a
seriously
man except the man's spirit within him?
enemies.
In the same way, no
And
one knows the thoughts of
oftentimes
God
am
except the Spirit of God.
conflicted by the girls'
We have
club.
not received the spirit of the world, but the Spirit who is
I know
from
that
God, that we
they're
may
not
understand what
against
God
me.
has freely
It's like
given us.
bad
This is what we speak,
religion,
not in words taught us by human
important
wisdom,
kissing,
but in words taught by the
ways to
Spirit,
achieve their
expressing spiritual
esteem.
truths in spiritual words.
I need to
The
tell
man
you,
without the Spirit
I
does not
need her
accept the things that come from the spoiling
without
spirit of
needing
man,
her.
for they are foolish
Maybe
in
this
and of
video
him, those less
will
spiritually discerned.
share.
Chirp chirp, I said, as though I'm not the only happy. I said to myself, I'm getting old, and it was like singing to the choir. I began to pre-plan my successes, think positive, and hang around people like me. I would experience poverty of speech and anxieties, but with maturity schizophrenia couldn't get the best of me. Touche, they say to know others is to love yourself. I became jaded, but found adversity even in nirvana. Also as well, being flexible, the solace I received allowed me to accept others, and the hand I was dealt. I chose to saunter up to the table again. Not knowing my immediate future, I was shy at my approach to friendship. Funny, I let go, and let God. My choices and dates were approved, and I had a lot to be thankful for sure. Watching TV, attending theatre, calendaring dates, and trying to improve my success at bats, I found myself trying to establish my importance among my own short-sightedness. Not more than perchance operational. The first will be last, and the last will be first is often misunderstood by hard-working citizenry. I started to settle, but not compromising my standards. However, I had some awful regrets from a hearing in
I
St. Joseph's
somewhere
Hospital.
lost my strength.
The distraction
And
was that I was
my
isolated,
mom is
and my
very
past
hopeful
couldn't be exasperated because of
that
weak
she
social
hasn't.
pressures.
Do
I
I
didn't
follow
have to
her
talk
or do
or
I
be
follow
timely to impress
Jesus?
the system.
Some
I
say
felt
both.
I was accomplished and a graduate of esteem. I thankful to God I didn't hurt someone. I don't afford the same explanation as most doctors, but agree that as the dose of the medication increases and more time elapses, it appears that the effects change from sedative effects into antipsychotic effects, and possibly into other less desirable side effects: akathisia, restless leg syndrome, emotional Parkinsonism, emotional blunting, and on into some other unwanted side effects. It is not
Emotional
uncommon when the
blunting
first symptoms appear
is
like
like
apathy, emotional indifference, motor slowing, or slow
telling
mentation,
somebody
that
you're
these were
laughing
attributed to the
when you're
underlying condition
sad.
of the patient, the patient's disease,
I don't know why
when
people
really they are
get
the
so
effects of the
excited.
medication itself. A patient on these
Tears of a
medications can
clown.
initially demonstrate an improvement in symptoms only to later, over time, have that initial improvement go away, or to only reach a certain point, and then plateau or level off. I chose similar friends upon re-entry into my care home. Living in a group home was all too new to me. I thought I'd please somebody and be more objective. It can be schizotypal. I thought they were protecting terse esteem and still finding themselves doubtful. Everyone had an opinion. But
Schizotypal
anyone conflicted
is
can be
just
disenfranchised. I
a
took the
complex
story.
reasoning.
Behind the
It means they
GSMI
don't have all
case
the
studies very
answers
loose end.
also.
My
And
illness
though,
was
like diabetes, I'm searching
non-fictional
for
with
a
an
cure.
undying dignity. I never spoke easy of the law, but underpinnings, as pundits argue, fought Michael Eric Dyson Moore. I learned our society is purported as its socialization is studious. Juggling, I sold advertising space, utility clerked, digitally mastered books in print, and even took lessons from phlebotomist. Everything I worked at obviously conflicted me like a brick wall. But things I trusted, God allowed the spirit to move naturally and were unhindered. Patient on these medications can initially demonstrate an improvement in symptoms only to later, over time, have that initial improvement go away, or to only reach a certain point, and then plateau or level off.
That's where I am
I
today.
chose similar friends upon
And
re-entry into my care
it's
home.
like
Living in a
revisiting
group home was all too
yesteryear.
new to me.
A return
I thought I'd
360.
please somebody and be more
I
objective.
thought I walked a
I
straight
loved to
line.
listen jokingly
In
to
and
the
outta
tenants
here.
complain, and all at the same time laugh, as though my thoughts were swapped out for less extraordinary ones. I said to myself, I'm getting old, and it was like singing to the choir. I began to pre-plan my successes, think positive, and hang around people like me. I agree it's delimiting to some. A profitless good time, and/or public sentiment, I'm okay, you're not. But a maturing redistribution of wealth. The principal made her sick, and she smiled.
What?
Thinking of my complaints, she was reserved and assuring. I didn't know what hit me. My move was unsettling, and Leslie didn't quake, but tried to understand a popularity next and UN timely. I meant I requested of the psychology department respectfully, a job is what I am prepared for. I had to shake my head, and again, as a UN believable.
She
My
leaves
daily
divots
bread
in my
is more
head.
matter able.
And
It teaches
like
me life examples.
the
and
girls'
Christian
club,
can also be
I have
supportive with
but
my
one
life
complaint.
application. Children
How
grow
did they
up
get here? Where did they
too
come
quick,
from?
not more than
For what
perchance
reason
operational.
do they work?
The first will
I'm
be
sorry for
last, and the
my
last will be
criticism.
first is often misunderstood.
I'm
by
supposed to be in my
hard-working
prime,
citizenry.
gaining strength.
I started to settle, but not
When I
compromise my
realized
standards.
that
However, I had some awful regrets from a
IHSS
hearing at
was
St. Joseph's Hospital.
for
The
me,
distraction
I
was
got
that I was
excited
isolating,
like the
and my
truth
past
was
couldn't be
mine.
exasperated because of weak social
But I've
pressures.
always realized
I didn't have to
that
talk
help
or be timely to
isn't
impress
help
the system. I
in
felt I was
and of
accomplished
itself.
and a graduate of esteem. I'm thankful to God I didn't hurt someone. I don't afford the same explanation as most doctors, but agree that as the dose of the medication increases and more time elapses, it appears that the effects change from sedative effects into antipsychotic effects,